All right, the Eli Manning Report is brought to you by Toyota. Tested, trusted Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. By Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. By Wendy's, the official hamburger restaurant of the New York Giants. By Agera Energy, the Tri-State's premier electricity and natural gas supplier. Visit AgeraFan.com for a hassle-free quote. And by the First National Bank of Long Island, the bank where everyone knows your name. Member FDIC. Eli Manning joins us now. Eli, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good, Mike. How are you?
All right, Eli, 4 up, 4 down in the wrong way. This has gotten to the ugly stage despite a valiant comeback yesterday. Where's your football team?
Well, I think guys we're still competing, and that's not going to change. Hey, we're going to work hard to get that first win, and that's what it's all about every week. And no matter what your record is, how things are going. We're right. We've been there right in there. Especially these past 2 weeks. Great opportunities to win the game, and we just gotta make a few plays in crucial moments. And the other teams have made plays. They've done some good things, and it's just tough. It's tough to lose that way, but we just I think we're going in the right directions. We just got to find ways to win these close ones.
Eli, how does the team as a group, and you haven't gone through this as often as you have, but how do you as a group, knowing what the preseason expectations were for this team, how do you fight the idea that, oh, no, we let this season already get away from us?
No, that won't be an option, and we can't allow that to happen. We gotta get that first win, and you go from there. And so you never know what can happen. We still feel like we're a good team, that we can win a lot of games. And, the way the league has gotten, there's not as many just dominant teams. It's, still feel it's open, and, we can get on a hot streak. And so, we just got to get that, you got to get that first one. And that's what you work towards every week. You put in the work to have that feeling after the game, the excitement, that sense of accomplishment. And, been very close, doing some good things, making plays, competing, and getting back in the games and getting leads. And there's a lot of good to take from it. It's just not good enough to win the game.
Let me touch on a couple of positives here. Number one, Gallman really gave you a lift. He really ran with a purpose. He ran with a real some pop, some power. Did some very good things yesterday.
Yeah, I think Wayne's got some talent, and just getting him into the mix a little bit, getting him comfortable, just hearing the plays, hearing the adjustments, and so I thought he did a good job. So I think we got a number of backs who can do some good things for us, and we got to get the running game going. We got to that's got to help us out and give us some opportunities to make it easier on us and hit some big plays.
Also, Ingram looks like he can be that high-volume tight end pass catcher. I know he's a kind of a quasi-wide receiver, but very, very confident target, very good hands. You can see he can become a real weapon in the pass offense. Yeah,
I think Evan's done a good job. Had a couple nice catches. Had a deep over route. He made a nice catch. Had a big third down conversion at the very end on the left side on an out route. A couple other nice plays, and so we got to just keep working, getting on the same page on a few things. But had a third down conversion earlier, but he's doing some good things, and we just got to keep finding ways to get him matched up on some guys and make some plays.
Yeah, look, you have to like what you see from him. He looks like he could be a very good target. You have plenty of talent there at wide receiver. We know that. Proven talent, proven players. Way too many drops. I mean, even the coach talked about it in the postgame. Hey, these guys got to catch the ball. You've had just a lot of drops so far this year.
Yeah, and I think yesterday was a little bit, early on. Had some rain, and this ball's a little slick a few times. After plays, I think I know Odell had one where play before he ran, he was on the side, got tackled, his gloves kind of get the grass and got wet. But we just when things are going tough and and you're playing in tight games, and you're down, and you're trying to, every possession is important. You got to make plays. You got to make the plays that are there. And hey, every once in a while, you need guys to make those outstanding catches, and everybody's done that. But there's also the easy catches that and easy plays that we're not making that can come back to haunt you. And so sometimes you can overcome them, but this game's too hard. That when you have a chance on a second down or first down to get a first down and get some yardage, you got to take advantage of it. And so we got to make all the plays that are there. And that's me making all the throws and guys making the catches and hitting the runs. That's just a combination of everybody.
We're talking with Eli Manning off the Giants. Really tough loss to Tampa yesterday. Haven't had too many moments to have some fun with. We can have a little, though. Who was that guy running 14 yards for a touchdown yesterday? I mean, Dak Prescott, you got nothing on him with that one. How about that? 14 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think that's definitely my longest rushing touchdown. So
that's a long one for you. 14 yards. That's like somebody going 80. I mean, that's a long play for you. 14 yards to the end zone.
Well, it just opened up. We had a little play action, and tried to kind of scramble and extend the play, and saw an opening, and I saw the end zone, got excited, and I'm just glad I didn't pop a hammy or anything. So I gave it my all.
Yeah, that's a video to keep right there. Eli scampering 14 yards for a touchdown. And a very tough 2-point conversion because a nice play, it gets knocked out of. Hey, I know, people say, hey, you can't get knocked out of bounds. I mean, it's so close to being out of bounds. You got a lot of contact in the end zone. I guess if you're going to run that end line, you got to stay clean off that line. Makes a good catch, gets his feet down, which was not easy to do, but had stepped out of bounds on the play.
Yeah, it's just kind of a tough play. I mean, we're asking to run the kind of the back of the end zone. The guy pushes them. I don't know. The guy shouldn't be allowed to make contact like that when you're running a route. If you're out of the pocket, I know they can get their hands on you and push you out of bounds. But I'm in the pocket. I don't know. It's kind of they shouldn't be able to just push you out of bounds like that. And so, hey, that's just tough. It's kind of one of those deals. You tell him to stay in when a guy gets his hands on you. You're running in route. It's hard not. I thought he did his best to try to stay in bounds. I mean, I had seen a close up to see if he did step out or not. I know it kind of looked close, but just a tough play. Obviously, could have been a difference. You like to get that 2-point conversion, give you that 3-point lead. Makes it a different game.
Talking with Eli Manning, I thought the passing offense to come from behind after the first couple of drives, you guys got it going yesterday. I mean, you came back for the second straight week, took the lead, made a lot of explosive plays, made some good plays, put some points up, so there was a lot there. Plus, it seems like you and the offensive line and the receivers have gotten more to where you're comfortable with what offense you can run and offer you enough protection to get the ball out. So it seems like the last 2 weeks, now either that or the two teams just weren't doing a good job in terms of pass rush. We know that's not the case with Philly. So it seems like you've gotten more comfortable playing at a certain pace, handling certain things in your protections. Even when they had to shuffle the offensive line again yesterday, it came away pretty clean for the game and were able to get the ball out.
Yeah, I thought the offensive line. Did a good job. Thought they had a good game plan, and knew there's be opportunities to get the ball out. Knew there's be some times to take some shots and get the ball down the field, and they held up on those opportunities. Had to scramble around a few times, and so that's playing football. But I thought the offense got into a pretty good rhythm. The first series wasn't good. It was also right before kickoff.
The rain, yeah.
It was raining good.
Yep.
I mean, it was raining big drops,
right.
and so you're trying to be a little bit careful in that situation, and kind of had to change some of the game plan a little bit. Just make sure you're getting make sure you're getting the dry ball. You don't want to be throwing anything too deep and tight throws in those situations, but. we started making some plays and moving the ball, and we just got to finish some drives a little bit better. And but I thought overall did some good things, but still left some plays out there.
You guys are going to all say the right thing and talk about how next game, next quarter, let's win a quarter, let's win a game, got to get that first win. All true. I mean, obviously, you got to take it one step at a time. But can you shelter out the disappointment? Can you kind of block all the negativity that will come from us and from the fans that is normal for a team that's way from where we thought it would be? All that stuff that's going to descend on this team, how tough is it going to be to shelter all that out and just be as focused to be, just about next game, just about one game, and just try to get this started? Not easy to do when you've had a very disappointing month, and you're the Giants, who get a lot of attention.
Yeah, it's no one said it's going to be easy, but I think you have to understand that we're the only people who can make a difference, and the only people that can make a change are going to be the guys, in that meeting room on Wednesday morning, and it's going to be a decision that we have to make if we want to change things and we want to get back to winning games and enjoying the whole experience and being rewarded for the work that's been put in. And so in this league, nothing's given to you. You don't just show up there and get wins. You got to earn it. You got to make plays. You got to play smart. You got to do your job at a high level, and that's the only way, to get a win and to enjoy that locker room after a win, or enjoy the next couple of days and be able to, feel good about what you're doing. And so, no one said it's not going to be the easiest thing, and some guys may have a harder time with others. So I think that's where you have to have the leaders got to be great leaders, and just make sure everybody's focused, everybody has a great work ethic, and putting in all the time and all the effort that they need to that we're doing things the right way. And so I think it hasn't been a lack of focus for the wins. It hasn't been guys making mistakes. There's not many mistakes being made. Guys are doing the right thing. Well, we just got to do it better.
Yeah, and I mean, it just seems like all three, early on the first two games, the offense wasn't clicking. The special teams has had the punt return, a couple of bad punts. Then you throw in the defense breaking down at the end of games 2 weeks in a row. So all the units, everybody has contributed to this situation. So it's not like it's just one unit. I mean, you're seeing last 2 weeks you've been highly competitive. You've come back from double digits behind on the road to take leads. You've had multiple fourth quarter leads. Your defense hasn't been able to hold them. So it's always been something that's gone wrong, but it's been something different each time. It's like every facet of the team has contributed to this start. So there's a lot of places to fix things.
Yeah, and I think that's you got to play complementary football, and that's both sides of the ball, special teams, everybody doing their part, and that's how you win games. When you get to this level, you're going to have close games. It's going to come down the fourth quarter, and that's where you need a punt return. Hey, you need a tip ball interception. You need a sack that makes a difference. It's it can come down to kind of a play or two at the end. And you can always look back earlier in the game and, hey, this could have been different. We could have, had this touchdown instead of a field goal, this and that. But, most of these games come down to the fourth quarter, and it's who can make the big play in those moments, who can get a stop, who can, throw a touchdown, who can convert a crucial third down, or that, sets up a touchdown or a field goal instead. So, that's what it's going to come down to. We're going to play in tight games, and we got to have the mindset when we get in that situation. We're going to step up and we're going to make the play. Everybody wants to have that mentality that they're going to be the guy to step up and make the play and win the football game.
And nothing changes till you get that first win. Obviously, you got to get going in the other direction. I mean, that has to happen. And this guy, it needed to happen already, but it's that has to happen first. That's the first step. No doubt.
We got to, but it's got to, we gotta get the confidence. We gotta have confidence before the first win. You can't just get the win and say, now we got the confidence. Something's gotta trigger in guys. And even though we've had haven't had much success in certain situations, we got to have the mindset that we can make those plays, that we are a good team, and that each guy's gonna do what they have to do to make a play in the critical moments to win.
Through the years, even when your team didn't have a great year, it usually got off to decent starts. You haven't had many starts like this.
No, and this is it's tough. It's tough to get off to this kind of start, and and it's just and especially these last 2 weeks, and just the way that you lose, and it just shows you that you gotta play good football. You can't and we're playing pretty good football, but we're not playing great football, and there's some plays that we're leaving out there, and there's just some mistakes in the fourth quarter, and just not our sharpest at certain times. And we're losing games, and even though there still are some good plays, we get down and with 5 minutes to go, and we got to go score a touchdown, and we were able to go down and score a touchdown. A couple of great plays. Odell makes a great play on a post route. Evan Ingram makes a huge third down catch. We have a great third down call at the 2-yard line and gets a touchdown. So a lot of good things, but it's just. When you look at overall for 4 quarters, it's just not quite where it needs to be.
Well, the pessimists will say, "Oh no, only one team in history has ever started 0-4 and made the playoffs." The optimists will say, "Hey, one team started 0-4 and made the playoffs." So it has happened once. The San Diego Chargers did do it. They're the only team ever to start 0-4. So that's something to shoot at, anyway.
Yeah, well, let's make history and be the second team. That's the only thing we can worry about is going out and preparing and let's give ourselves a chance. Let's give ourselves a chance. No one knows what's going to happen, but if we don't start winning soon, we will know what's going to happen. And so let's go compete. Let's go get a win. Let's feel good about what we're doing. And there's no reason. You get one and then you stack them.
Listen, you guys were confident when I was out there in August, and everybody surrounding this team thought this was going to be a good team. So this has to come as a pretty big slap in the face and a surprise for this team, right?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I believe everybody.
I mean, you thought this team was pretty good, right?
But yeah, no, and I think we are. I still think we're a good team, and we just. It's come down, and maybe the Dallas game got out of hand a little, not out of hand, but we didn't play well. But even the Detroit game, last 3 games, hey, we're down by, right in it in the fourth quarter, and we don't make a play on third down, and then we punt, and they return a punt in the Detroit game, kind of makes it out of hand, but. In the last 2 games, hey, we're right there in it. We got a lead. We got a couple leads in the fourth quarter, and but it's just we got to extend the lead. We had an opportunity to kind of go up by 8 and with the ball and a lead, and we didn't do anything on that drive, and so we got to find ways to build leads, to get a lead early. We can't play from behind every game and start coming back. We got to help out our defense and get a lead to start with, and so they can play. It's different when your defense. When the opposing offense is behind, they can start to press a little bit. They can, that's when you can force them into mistakes. And so we got to help out our defense, and we got to play with the lead, and we got the playmakers that can do that.
All right, thanks, Eli. We'll chat next week. Appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Eli Manning, who's going to remain. Listen, Eli is going to remain optimistic. And hey, what else are you going to do? You got 12 games left. If I'm the quarterback of the Giants, I'm going to remain optimistic too. I'm going to say, hey, we're going to be the team that gets it done. You'd be disappointed if you didn't hear that. You would be, very disappointed if you didn't hear that. You're going to hear that. What else are you going to hear? You're going to hear that we're going to become the second team to do it, and it starts this week. Hey, momentum is funny. if they won 2 games in a row, all of a sudden people are like, oh, we can watch the Giants. They're on fire. That's how it is. But you got to first get it started the other way. So next week is San Diego at home, followed by a trip to Denver. Hey, you take it 1 quarter at a time right now. That's all you can do when you've squandered the first quarter of the season. They've played a quarter, and they've put up a 0. Doesn't get it any worse than that. Back after this. And the Eli Manning, I got to always remember I have a closing billboard this year. Eli Manning Report brought to you by Toyota. Tested, trusted.